I said you're under arrest, motherfucker. Get the fuck over here. Get your motherfucking ass over here. Hands on the car. Hands on the car, dickhead.
Oh, shit. I ain't doing nothing. We just dealt with you, man. I ain't doing nothing. I got bound over. Keep your hands on the hood. I got a lighter on me. Benefit. Crossway. Look at my bum. I didn't do nothing, man. I was trying to go to work.
Have you ever even had a real job?
Downtown.
Okay. Yeah, you about to have some work downtown. Hands behind your back, you're under arrest. This way.
Where we going?
Jail.
For what?
Vandalism.
What I vandalized?
The inside of the store.
What I do?
You vandalized the inside of the store. Sit.
Oh, I did. I bought some coffee.
Good. Sit.
My heavy.
No, sit.
Why not?
Because I said so. Put your feet in. Eat a dick, motherfucker.
Lobotomy sounding nicer, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is. Sure is.
You need the rip hobble as fuck. We can rip hobble.
No.
Are you sure?
Kick my car again, I'm gonna foam you. You understand me, dickhead? I will spray the fuck out of you, you worthless piece of incestuous shit.
Officer Skelton alleged that Thomas vandalized the store, even though he had not seen any evidence of the allegation. Despite Thomas being cooperative from the onset, Officer Skelton seemed disgusted by his mere presence. He used profanities and extremely abusive words to address Thomas. This officer's behavior violated his departmental policy and procedures. Shortly after warning Thomas not to kick the vehicle's door, Thomas kicked the door again, and the officer pepper sprayed him 4 times. Officer Skelton then suggested they use rip hobble to restrain Thomas.
I'm gonna stay out here, keep an eye on him.
Get him to jail anyway.
Oh, suck my balls, dickhead. I told him I was gonna spray him. 774, suspects kicking my car door. I am deploying my pepper foam. I'm trying.
Fucked up real bad.
I don't think so. Anybody got a rip hobble? Mine seems to be missing.
I know you just hangs at the door.
Yeah.
I'll hold him on the other side.
Good luck.
Oh, lock it.
No. You kick me, you get it again.
No, sir. May you let the window down?
For you? Yeah. Hell no. Not after that. You gonna make me have to treat you like that after I tried to be good to you the first time, tried to take you somewhere to get you some help? Then you gonna make me be an asshole and now you gonna ask me for a favor? I don't think so.
In this case, Officer Skelton's use of pepper spray was excessive. That violated Section DR 301 of his departmental policy. After pepper spraying Thomas to his satisfaction, the officers joked and laughed about Thomas's behaviors. Thomas asked the officers to help open the door to get fresh air and be relieved from the pepper spray. Officer Skelton refused, though he admitted he was supposed to.
You want me to roll the window down? I probably should.
He was calling you sir at the end of that, though.
Yeah, he was. He was.
You just gotta act crazy with him, then it'll calm down. By doing that, it'll calm down now.
I hope so. We'll get some overtime out of this,
I've never
gentlemen.
seen someone spray someone before.
It's the first time I've used the foam.
I bet that's still like a motherfucker.
I hope so. I don't know if he'll give it to me. You got enough for a felony?
Yeah.
Good. Did you hear all that on the radio?
Fantastic.
Thank you.
I've never been more proud of you.
Oh, well, thank you. Never?
This is one of the very rare times I've ever arrested somebody.
This tyrant officer's behavior further violated the section addressing chemical irritant agents, that Officer Skelton completely disregarded his departmental policies and procedures. When Skelton announced he was about to deploy his pepper spray, Lieutenant Alexander McGowan heard on the radio and went to the scene. Upon arrival, Officer Skelton happily told him he phoned Thomas. The lieutenant seemed happy for him and didn't correct the wrongdoings of his officer.
I phoned him. Good.
Got both of them.
I phoned the fuck out of him.
I'm gonna have my day on that.
That's fine. I phoned the fuck out of him. I'll tell the camera I phoned the fuck out of him. I told him I was gonna phone the fuck out of him.
And then he started kicking again. I'm like, you gonna do it? He's like, I'm gonna do it. I'm like, oh shit. Here we go.
He kicked the door. I said, you do it again, I'm gonna phone you. He did it again, so I phoned him.
Okay. Fine with me.
We ripped top of his ass.
Yeah, and he's rip hobbled now. And now he's calling me sir.
Yeah, and now he's being real respectful.
Here's the thing. I know you're gonna need to weigh it.
Oh, you got his name and stuff?
Oh yeah, Biddick's working on the ticket right now. I told him.
You did give him a fair warning. Yeah, when he started kicking, I turned my body cam on right then. I was like, oh shit.
Oh, is it on? It's on. It's on. Yeah. 774. Do have ambulance en route. Check.
I wasn't officially on scene. You started kicking the back of your car. That's when you didn't get any licks on you, did you?
I don't think so. I
held him, but I would have got devastated.
I started to smell it there for a second.
I would have got devastated if I held him like that.
All right, down. Why you get sprayed? Huh? Were you kicking and he told you stop kicking?
So do you need my explanation for the arrest ticket? No? Okay.
What are you charging him with so many of these?
Okay. He says he's got enough for felony vandalism.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, make it That sounds good.
Is disorderly and he's actually barred from there. He's on the
Do ag trespass. Yeah, do ag trespass.
So we are for sure gonna have a felony on
Watch
this.
it, make sure we go in cardiac arrest and stuff.
Ambulance is on the way. He'll be all right.
He's not still kicking, is he?
No, he's just wiggling. The phone's doing its work.
I mean, we got more pepper spray.
I know. We can always pepper spray again if we need to.
Lieutenant McGowan's failure to correct his officers violated his departmental policy that addresses the duties of supervisory members. It is stated that supervisory members are members who are at the rank of lieutenant and above. They will be responsible for adherence to the department's policies, regulations, orders, and procedures. They will ensure that all policies, rules, regulations, orders, and directives of the department are enforced and implemented by their subordinates. Officer Biddick completed the offense report and charge document. It was later found that the report had conflicting information. The property damage reported by the convenience store was $350 relating to food items. The offense was misdemeanor vandalism. However, Officer Biddick stated in an affidavit that the damage was $1,005. He also stated that kicking the door resulted in $1,100 in damage to the vehicle. However, none of the officers observed any damage on the vehicle, and the vehicle was never repaired following this incident. Officer Biddick lied in his report. After this incident, Officer Skelton continued to work for the Memphis Police Department for another year. However, after investigations were opened concerning his misconduct in this incident, he resigned from the department. His resignation appeared to be an attempt to escape from any disciplinary action. His administrative hearing was initially scheduled for February 12th. Due to his resignation, the hearing was held in abeyance. When a news network contacted Skelton for comments concerning this incident, he replied, "I appreciate your interest, but I am no longer with the Memphis Police Department. I resigned in January, and now happily work in the private sector. Best of luck with your story." It was reported that Skelton had been indicted by a grand jury on an official oppression charge. He will be facing a felony for his repeated use of pepper spray. The officer pleaded not guilty. Administrative charges against Officers Sharman and Halteman were dismissed. On the other hand, Officer Biddick and Lieutenant McGowan each received a 3-day suspension.
I phoned him.
Good.
All praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Ha, Rekha, Kodash, double honors unto our apostle elders, which rule great millstone well, and shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure unto the end. Shalom, wa abba babal. So I brought this video, into this sit down to show the evidence of the red devil, the so-called white men. They are the wicked that are in power. That's why they have power to put you to death. They have power to put you in prison. They have power to take your kids away. They have power to hire or fire you. All right? It's because the so-called white man is the red devil. All right? And they are the wicked that are ruling the world, spoken of in Job 9, verse 24. Let's go back to Job 9, verse 24. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and it was given into the hand of the wicked because the Israelites sinned. The so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indian of North, South, and Central, and the Caribbeans of America, we sinned. We are the biblical Hebrew Israelites, and so Yahweh and his son Yahushai, all right, pretty much put us in slavery. And Yahushai was sent down by Yahweh to free us by being sacrificed, which he already done that and raised from the dead by the power of Yahweh, soon to return. And this is why we, the prophets, have been raised up to warn our people of the day of judgment that is coming. All right? And this day was created for the devil and his angels, dealing with the so-called white man and his military. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? And that's pertaining to his history. All right? In the Renaissance, they destroyed the icons of the Dark Ages, which is called iconoclasm. They destroyed the truth. They destroyed the pictures of the dark-skinned people that ruled the world in the Dark Ages. All right? So this shows you that this devil, the so-called white man, is the wicked that ruled the world. That's why the world's in a wicked-ass state. All right? And he's a liar. He covers up the truth and lies. We just saw a video. Really, it's 3 videos of them lying. The so-called white man. All right? And there was one so-called black man in there that was a police officer, and he was with it. With the red devil, which tells you that 2/3 are going to be destroyed in America because they're with the devil, the so-called white man. Zechariah 13, verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith Yahweh, dealing with America, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. So 2/3 of the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indian of the Americas are going to die because they're in bed with the so-called white race, the red devil. 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the 3rd shall be left therein. And I will bring the 3rd part through the fire and will refine them as silver is refined. So the Lord's going to change us in Jacob's trouble, all right? And will try them as gold is tried. And they shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, Yahweh is my power. All right? So the wicked is going to come down with great wrath, knowing that he had but a short time, and he's only going to be able to kill 2/3 of the nation of Israel. Revelation 12, verse 12, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them, which our Father, our Savior, and the Holy Spirit, which is the Rakah Kodash, which are the angels that minister to us. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So these Caucasians, these red devils, are starting to wake up that they're losing power. They're getting weaker. Their country is falling. All right, and eventually it's going to fall in nuclear destruction.
June 11th, 2023. Well, the problems continue to persist, ladies and gentlemen. We have more trouble. And we are going to get ourselves into something here as a country that at some point we're not going to get out of. And we are heading down a very dark, desolate road. Federal deficit tops $2 trillion over the last 12 months. This on Fox Business this morning. Federal spending rose 11% as tax revenue fell 6%. So we obviously have a lot more money going out than coming in. We are spending billions of dollars bailing banks out, like the recent banks that just collapsed a couple months ago. We're sending tens of billions of dollars over to Ukraine. We just raised the debt ceiling. That's going to be another $4+ trillion. Now, they have a printing press that can print money out of thin air. They can put digits on a screen right out of thin air. If you did this, you would go to prison for counterfeiting. This is exactly what they're doing. They're counterfeiting.
And let me remind you, before Rome fell, the pagan empire of Rome, all right, they were counterfeiting their gold and silver coins. They were putting fillers of a lesser value metal inside the coin. So this is modern day Rome, America, which has been reincarnated as the ancient pagan Roman Empire back then. All right. So they're doing the same thing as they fall.
US dollar. By just printing it, by putting digits on a screen, that's exactly what it is. You would be in prison today for that, but this is how they're kicking the can down the road. The economy is broke, ladies and gentlemen. It is collapsed. It collapsed back in 2008, and they are doing everything to keep this victim or this patient alive right now. And they're trying to resuscitate it. They're trying to pump it with tons of dollars, and it's just limping along. But this patient is never coming back.
All right, this is Jeremiah 51, verse 9. We would have healed Babylon, which is America, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country, which that's what the foreigners are going to do that have businesses here in America. They're going to forsake America and go back to their own country, which I've seen this with my own eyes. All right, during the C-19 shutdowns, there was a lot of stores where I lived before, and they're all shut down. And those people that were owning it were from different countries, and they left the country. All right, I actually talked to them personally, and they told me they were going back to their own country. Why? Because it's too chaotic here to try to run a business and make money. They do better in their own country now. All right? It says, and let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. Which eventually America is going to be nuked, turned into a mushroom cloud. All right? But these are the judgments that's coming upon America because of the wicked inhabitants, starting with the so-called white man, the red devil. All right? Now, let me get, all right. I'll start at 40. And this is Yahushua talking about the Israelites that are of the wicked. All right? The Israelites that do what the wicked desire instead of what the righteous are to be doing. Matthew 25, verse 40. And the king is Yahushua, shall answer and say unto them, verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me. Talking about the prophets, all right? But the Lord's going to judge the 2/3 for doing evil, all right, for being wicked. Just like you saw that Jacob, which he might be a tear, but he looked like a so-called black man, and he had authority over the so-called white man, the red devil. But did you see he was laughing and congratulating the red devil for spraying the other so-called black man? So these 2/3 that are for the so-called white man, you love the so-called white man so much you're going to die with him. It says, then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, which are those 2/3, depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. So this destruction was created for the so-called white man and his military. But because you want to be into his police force, you want to be in his military, all right, you're going to perish in that uniform. Which this is why, really, you shouldn't be working as a cop. If you are a cop, get a new job. You know, do something different, because the Lord is completely against this beast system. All right, and he's going to destroy it. And if you're a part of it, you're going to be destroyed with it. All right? It's not like the ancient world where, you know, you had the Israelites that were Roman soldiers, right? Because it wasn't judgment time yet. This day, 2023, we're at the end of this place. And these so-called Caucasians and their empire is going into destruction. All right? So I recommend any Israelite that have an ear to hear, if you're working for the government as a police officer, as any form for the government, get out. Get out now. All right? Because the Lord is about to punish these devils and their system. All right? The Lord is going to punish their system by nuclear destruction. And he's going to punish them that are participating in these wicked deeds. Because you got to be wicked to be part of their system. That's why they killed that one police officer from LA. They hunted him down and eventually burned him alive because he was going to report the racism that went on in the police force that he witnessed. See, it wore on his conscience and he couldn't take it no more. So he was about to report it, but what they do, they hunted him. They made up some false lie so that they could hunt him. And when they finally got him cornered, they burned him in a house to cover their tracks. So if you're partaking in these wicked deeds, you're going to die like a wicked devil. The so-called white man is the wicked devil. And I'm telling the 2/3, really, that's your judgment. You're going to perish as a wicked. But if you have any conscience or, common sense in you, and you hear this, quit. Don't work as a cop. Don't work as a soldier. Don't do it. Because they're going to make you take this device, which is an implantable microchip, which is going to become mandatory for buying and selling. And that will be the end of you. All right, Revelation 13:9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. Like I said, if any Israelite is listening to this, all right, and you're part of the beast system, I recommend you leave that system. All right, start to pull yourself away from this system. This system is going to be destroyed soon by nuclear missiles. It says, and it's because Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai is coming to establish a righteous kingdom. This is a wicked-ass place. Under the wicked, the so-called white man, the red devil the Bible speaks of. Verse 10, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. So the so-called white race, they led us into captivity. Now they're going to go into captivity under us. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. And what are cops known for? Killing with the sword. They're actually back in the past, in the old days, they were slave hunters. Okay? But you always had these Jake that got a job and the job went to their head. Now they think they're better than their own kind. Right? Now those kind of people are going to be destroyed by Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai. All right? It says, here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So we're just waiting. That's all we got to do is wait. We don't have to fight against these red devils. We don't have to pick up arms. None of that. All we got to do is pray and be faithful to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai as he commanded us to teach our people the truth so that they might repent and be saved. All right? But them 2/3 that are participating in this wicked-ass system, they love this place. They can't get enough of it. They'll fight and die for it. Guess what? You're going to die with it. Because this place is short-lived. It's going to be destroyed soon. Or as Jeremiah Babe says, it's already, collapsing. But now it's going to actually be destroyed by fire, nuclear missiles. And this is why Putin's been roused up. He is that bear that the Lord has put a hook into his jaws because he's in the place of the Medes, the ancient Medes. And these Russians, they want to nuke America. And they're setting it up so they could nuke America. That's why they haven't been, violent towards any Americans. Because they're looking like the peacekeepers of the world. This is why all the allies of America are going to go to Russia. And then they're going to turn their back on America. And America is so fucking proud. It's disgusting, They think nobody could take them down. They're the greatest country ever. Motherfuckers, you've been raised up so high on a hog so that the Lord could take you down. The Lord is going to put your ass down. It says in Obadiah, verse 3, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. And that's what they are. They're deceived. The fucking Americans, they're drunk on power and they think they'll never lose power when they're already in a collapsing economy. That dwelleth in the cliffs of the rock. This is why they call themselves Caucasian. They are the original caveman, whose habitation is high. Once again, they're high on the hog. It says, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? That's the pride. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, which they done this historically, but even in America, they had the eagle. When they touched the moon, supposedly, it was the ship was called the Eagle Has Landed, right? The eagle was the ship, and when they landed, they said the eagle has landed. But also in the Great Seal of America, all right, it's an eagle which represents their government system. And though thou set thy nest among the stars, which is a space force, then will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh. So now the Lord is going to bring them down. That's why they've been falling ever since like 1969. It says, verse 9, and thy mighty men, O T-man, shall be dismayed to the end, that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. You see this? This is written in the Bible. Every one of the mount of Esau, every man, woman, and child of the nation of Edom, which is the so-called white race, shall be cut off by slaughter. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indian. What did I just show you in picture?
Why you get sprayed?
The violence against thy brother Jacob. Right? They spray us, they put us in prison, they beat us, they abuse us, they starve us, right? We're refused certain resources, certain rights, right? So we're going to be able to put that back upon you. Payback is coming, and it's coming very soon. It says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee. And that's why they're ashamed now. I'm not the red devil. They always say that. No, we're innocent. They try to play all this bullshit. They don't have part in what slavery had, or they didn't, they don't have that racist bone in their body. But all these red devils are the same, from the male to the female to the child. And they're all going to be made extinct according to the scripture. After 1,000 years of brutal slavery. You think what we went through was brutal? Wait till we get your fucking red ass in slavery, man. You ain't going to get a fucking day off except for the Sabbath. And that day, you're going to be fearful of what's coming as soon as sundown. And you're going to be licking your wounds from before the Sabbath. So you're not going to get no peace, no rest for 1,000 years. None. All right? When that 1,000 years has come to an end, then you're going to be made extinct. This is what the Bible says. It says, Obadiah verse 15, for the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. So not just the so-called white man, all the heathen. But it starts with that so-called white race. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Let me repeat it again. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. So whatever you do on this side, it's going to be done unto you. But there ain't going to be nothing to come save you. There ain't going to be nothing to stop us from hurting you. We're going to abuse you so fucking bad, it's going to be a joy. It shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. And let me show you, it's going to be a joy. It's going to be a great joy, because even Yahweh Shai is going to be there with us. Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, as we destroy these devils. Psalms 137 verse 8, O daughter of Babylon, which is America, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be. Do you hear that? Happy shall he be. Happy shall he be. So it's going to be a pleasure. That rewarded thee as thou hast served us. As thou hast served us. So what you done unto us, man, we're going to rejoice. Look at these guys. Look at the smile on this motherfucker's face. They're enjoying what they're doing to that so-called black man. that has his hands and his feet tied. He's in that little fucking boxcar, and they sprayed all kinds of poison in there on his face. So guess what, bitches? It's coming back to you, devils. You red devils have how to pay. And whatever you done unto us, we're going to be able to do unto you. And we're going to be able to do it double, because it's payback, bitches. It says in verse 9, happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. Which we're going to be able to take your babies right from the womb and smash them against stones, just like you've done to our babies. And you're still doing to our babies. You're having our women abort them in the abortion clinics. You got these women that are abusing their children because of the so-called white race ruling over the world. The world is in a wicked-ass state. All right? So we're going to rejoice destroying the wicked. All right? The whole earth is going to actually rejoice when this wicked devil is put down. Even the other nations. Look what they've done to the other nations. Look at Yemen. Starving babies because of the so-called white race. All right? So all these heathen that you fucking abused while you've been in power, they're going to get payback on your ass. But it starts with Israel. It says in verse 17 of Obadiah, but upon Mount Zion, which are the Israelites that are prophesying, shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions, which we're going to own these fucking slaves. All right? It says the house of Jacob. And that's what's going to happen. The elect are going to get these bastards first in slavery. But say like the Jake that they threw in the car and abused, if he dies on this side, he's going to come back as a child to the elect. And he's going to get payback on all them cops that abused him in that area. All right? It says, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle them and devour them. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh has spoken it. So there's going to be a point to where there is no more Edomites. They're going to be made extinct after 1,000 years. That's why the world will be in peace. It'll be a place of pleasure instead of a fucking living hell. It says in verse 20, no, that's not what I need. It says in verse 21, did I get 19? Yep. Verse 21. And saviors shall come up on Mount Zion, the prophets, starting with the elder apostles, head elder apostles of great millstone, to judge the mount of Esau. See? So we've been given this job of judging Esau. This is why we put up these videos. We're declaring his judgment. We're preparing him for slaughter, as we've been commanded in Isaiah 14, verse 21. And then there's going to be a day where we go from fishermen, we're fishing for our people so that they might be saved, to hunters, which we're going to hunt Jake, these 2/3 that participate in this wicked-ass system. We're going to hunt them, but also the other nations. All right? It says, and the kingdom of Yahweh shall be Yahweh's. And there ain't nothing Esau could do. They could fucking make all kinds of, vain threats and all that shit. It don't matter what you do. These words are true and they're going to come to pass. All right? Let me show you that all these nations are going to get your ass. It says in Isaiah 14, verse 6, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, the so-called white man, really dealing with America and the European Union, It says, he that ruled the nation in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth. And it starts with the elite, the higher ups, the ones that are controlling things. These lower level devils, they're going to starve to death, kill each other and gun battles and shit like that. This is talking about these elite that are in the bunkers, that have money to hide. All right? Those are the first to go into slavery. And everything dies down, they're going to go into slavery. All right? And there's not going to be anyone to stop anybody from hurting you. All right? Your judgment is pain. And you're going to get pain from the boot of every nation. But Israel's is going to be the biggest and heaviest on you. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he didn't release us from slavery, right? Our slavery is supposed to be fulfilled because we're standing up on our feet. But this red devil, instead, he wants to oppress us. He wants to bring us into a new form of slavery with his implantable microchip. All right? It says, he that ruled the nations in anger, who controls UN, America, and the European Union, is persecuted and none hindered. No one's going to help you. You're running to one house looking for help, and they're going to start beating you. You run to the next house looking for help, and they're going to start beating you. It's just going to be a horrible, horrible, horrible time for the so-called white race, and rightfully so. Look what they've done to the world. Look what they've done to Israel, the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indian. This is the favorite people of God. All right? This is the chosen people of Yahweh and his son Yahweh Shai, and you fucking done the worst to us. So it's going to be a joy to see you terrorized. It says, the whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. We're going to celebrate. We're going to be so happy when they catch you fucking Edomites and beat you. We're going to reward those heathen that done it, that run to us and say, look, there's an Edomite, and we're going to get your ass. And oh man, it's going to be fucking pleasure. That's going to be, you know how they used to make it a picnic, you know, pick a nigga and hang him and burn him, and they would turn it into like a big old festival. We're going to do greater parties killing Edomites than they done killing niggas and spicks and tomahawks. All right, we're going to freaking feast when we see these Edomites perish in the kingdom of heaven. We're going to rejoice. But once again, it's going to come to an end. Isaiah 14, verse 21, would show that we're more righteous than the Edomite. In their Christian, their false religion, their slave religion, they tell you that you're going to burn in hell forever, which is unjust. How are you going to burn in hell forever for a sin that you committed only for a few seconds, a few minutes? But in fact, they're going to have 1,000 years of slavery is the truth, and then they're going to be made extinct. So that shows you we're the just and they're the wicked. Isaiah 14, verse 21, prepare slaughter, and we're preparing you for slaughter by telling you you're going to get slaughtered by the Bible, is what the word that is coming out of our mouth. The prophecies that are in the Bible. Prepare slaughter. Prepare means for the future. Prepare you. We're warning you of what is coming. Not so that you could hide of it, but that you get excited and want to kill us. All right? It says, I'll show you in the scriptures. It says, prepare slaughter for his sons, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, saith Yahweh of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith Yahweh. I will make it a possession for the bittern and pools of water, because he's going to nuke America. It's going to become a desert. And I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith Yahweh of hosts. Yahweh of hosts have sworn, saying, surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass, and as I have purposed, so shall it stand. So Yahweh created America with the purpose of being destroyed by nuclear missiles. All right? And the so-called Caucasians, they're going to get actually destroyed in there. Here it is. Obadiah verse 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, which are the Israelites. And there shall and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them, which we're doing. We're learning this truth as we're enslaved under the so-called white man. All right, so we're kindling in them and devour them. And one day we will devour them when we're given that right by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau. For Yahweh has spoken it, as he has sworn it shall be done. Now these words, where it says fire and flame, see it says fire flame, supernatural fire accompanying theophany, all right, the God's anger, okay? So we're making Esau mad. We're roasting his ass by bringing out the truth of his witchcraft, right? Bringing it out that he's the red devil. The so-called white man is the red devil, right?
Theophany.
Theophany, a visible manifestation to mankind of God or a God, right? So we're showing you videos, which is a visual manifestation to humankind, to you men of the earth, you wicked, the sons of the wicked, the so-called white race, to the heathen, the sons of the heathen, and to the sons of God, the Israelites, right? We're showing you what's happening in the past, the present, and what's going to take place in the future. All right, which is stirring them up. It's stirring them up where they're going to want to come down with great violence, knowing that they have but a short time. It says fire and also a flame. A flame, it says a tip of weapon, point, head of spear. Which this is stirring the pot, stirring that flame. All right. See, what it's going into is us being this spear, stirring the fire. Okay, we stir the fire, right? Jacob, the supplanter, we stir the fire. You see it? See how they're stirring the fire and it becomes more lively? That's what's literally happening with our videos. It says the very act of stirring ashes and poking around in the almost dormant embers of a fire livens up those embers, so it increases the fire. By exposing them, by us exposing the red devil, by exposing the who we are, that we are the biblical Hebrew Israelites, that exposing Yahushua is the true so-called black man, and that the red devil, the so-called white man, has lied with his false image and the false name of Jesus Christ. This livens up the earth. It actually causes the flame to increase. So that's why there's so much tension right now. So much tension, you could cut it with a knife. Everyone's walking around with a pretty much a feeling of fucking war, doom. All right? And it's because the prophets are on the scene, stirring up the truth, which these devils try to hide. Right? We're stirring it up. We're showing you the truth. We're telling you the truth of who are the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, that we're still in slavery under the so-called white race, which are the red devils. All right, the Bible speaks of. And then we tell you about the future, about payback. So it gets these red devils all stirred up where they want to act out in violence. I get all kinds of comments of these red devils. Come at me. Well, all that fucking bullshit comes because of that pride they have, because of that sword they hold. But soon we're going to have a greater power that your gun won't even help you. All right? And then we're going to hunt. It says, by exposing them, those not quite extinguished embers are made to glow with their own fire. Even those that seemed to have lost their fire can be reignited. There's men that lost faith. But when they hear the truth, oh, that makes sense. Come back to faith. Right? They were in these false Christian churches. And then eventually that flame dies off in them. Right? But then it gets reignited. That's what that was an easy thing for me when they said the so-called white man was a devil. Oh, that was easy for me because it reignited that flame of all the shit that the so-called white man's done unto me and to my people. As I've been alive only a short period of time, I've seen this red devil in action. They've destroyed lives. They've killed people and walked away laughing about it. Right? They broke my arms. These cracker cops. Right? These slave hunters. Right? So I know when I heard that the so-called white man was the devil, I said, I believe that. You know what I'm saying? My brother, he passed. He was in the truth. All right. He was in our camp and he passed. They put false charges on him saying that he was in the woman's bathroom looking under fucking stalls and that he was they said it was a homosexual gay Edomite that's in transgender, right? Which is an abomination. Which I knew. This brother that passed, I knew this brother. He was not like that. He was not like that at all. So I told the brother, get a lawyer. Sure enough, he got a lawyer. They come to pass. It wasn't. They had a video, and it wasn't him. It was a different man. But this is how these so-called Caucasians operate. They don't give a fuck about the truth at all. All they're worried about is hurting dark-skinned people, especially the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indian. You don't see them fucking arresting the East Indian like that. You don't see them throwing around the Chinese or the Japanese man like that. You don't see them arresting the fucking Arabs, in the land of Israel and Palestine. They go at it. But that's because they're in our land. Those bastards are in our land. But here in Babylon, you don't see them fucking up nobody but the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indian. So as we teach this truth, it's stirring up the flame. It stirs up the hot faith of the Israelites, and it stirs up that hot hatred that the Edomites and these other nations have for us. All right, pretty much this place is gonna be on fire when the Lord returns, but then He's gonna burn it down with nuclear destruction and chariot fire. It says, but by exposing them, those not quite extinguished embers are made to glow with their own fire, and even those that seemed to have lost their fire can be reignited. And the Israelites that are not reignited, they lost their salt, right? So they're going to perish here. It tells you that. Matthew 5. See, it says, verse 13, Yahushua is speaking. Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt has lost his savors, which you got these Jake out here, just let it go, forgive them. That's back then, right? So you lost your fire, you lost your flavor. It says, wherewith shall it be salted? How can you put that fire back in? You can't. It is thenceforth good for nothing. So all these Jake that are tied to the so-called white man, they want to forgive the so-called white man. They want to support the so-called white man. These women, they want to marry the so-called white man. Well, you're going to die with the so-called white man, that saltless bastard. It is thenceforth good for nothing but to be cast out and to be trodden underfoot of men. And that's what's about to happen. You're about to be destroyed by these armies of the world that the devil is about to allow, right? Because it's all written that it would take place like this, all right, against you Israelites. Zechariah 14, verse 1. Behold, the day of Yahweh cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. So your goods are going to be taken from you. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken. So the Lord's going to grab. You wonder why the UN nations are here in America? It's not because of the so-called white race. Now, they have their part in it because they're bringing them in because they're in authority. But really, it's the plan of Yahweh and Yahushua. He has them bringing them in to destroy America. It says, and the city shall be taken. Taken in what? In warfare. And the houses rifled. The houses will be destroyed. You ever see Syria? That was an ancient city. But look at it. It's destroyed. All these cities where there was war, that's what America's about to feel. It's operating. You could go to the store. You can go to eat at a restaurant. But soon, the streets are going to be so unsafe because there's going to be war on all kinds of different levels in America. And the women ravished. You women are going to be fucked up, man. You Jake women that you took on the so-called white man's ways. I don't need a man. I'm an independent woman. All I need is to pay my bills and I'm all this bullshit. You're going to fucking get fucked up, man. It says, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. So the hopeful elect will not perish like a 2/3. Now, some of us will be sacrificed, fulfilling prophecy, but not all of us are going to perish. And we're not going to perish like a 2/3, all right? We're going to be sacrificed. It says, then shall Yahweh go forth. And there's only a limit that they're allowed to touch of the elect. Then shall Yahweh go forth and fight against those nations as when he fought in the day of battle. And I'm going to read what is going to happen to these people. It says in verse 11, and men shall dwell in it, and there shall be no more utter destruction, but Jerusalem shall dwell safely, inhabited. It says, right, so America is going to be destroyed, but Israel is going to be renewed, all right, after its destruction, because you're going to have all these men that are gathered, women, into the armies of the world in the valley of Jehoshaphat, in the land of Israel, and they're going to die there by fire, right? So the land of Israel is going to be coming back, rejuvenated under the Israelites. The whole earth is, but America is going to remain a desert, a memorial, all right, of how not to live. This is what happens to the wicked. It says, and verse 12, and this shall be the plague wherewith Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Right? He's going to smite them in America with nuclear missiles, and he's going to smite them in the land of Israel in the valley of Jehoshaphat with fire, with chariot fire. It says, their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. They're going to perish in nuclear destruction or chariot fire. And it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from Yahweh shall be among them, and they shall lay hold every one on the hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor. Right? So the Lord's going to put it in these nations to kill each other. Revelation 17, verse 16. And the 10 horns, which are the 10 kings of the European Union, which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai had put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai shall be fulfilled. So everything that's happening is according to Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, and no man has free will, including the so-called white man. So they're building nuclear missiles for their own heads, for their own kingdoms to be destroyed by, for their own families to be melted by. But the hopeful elect, we're going to be escaping this destruction. All we've been sent here for is to prophesy, to witness, to testify, and to warn our peoples that they might repent and be saved. But we know, according to the prophecy, 1/3 in America will be saved, 2/3 will perish. All right? But according to the will of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai.